Well, David Otto is a director of the Geneva Centre for Africa Security and Strategic Studies. He joins us now from the Nigerian capital, Abuja. Really good to have you back with us, David. We know the crisis in Niger has been dominating headlines of late, but the conflict in Sudan that's been raging since April is still continuing. In fact, in some cases, it's actually worsening in some parts, particularly in Darfur. Can you tell us more about what's happening there and the ethnic dimension to it?
Well, of course, as you know, what we're experiencing now is almost like a reawakening of the 20 years conflict that has been going on in Darfur since 2003. And with the emergence of this conflict between the Rapid Support Forces and the Sudanese armed forces, the fear has always been that this will have a spillover effect. And indeed, unfortunately, this is what we're seeing with the recent clashes happening in the Darfurian capital of El Fasher, but also in Yala, where the fighting between the RSF, that's the Rapid Support Forces of General Hemeti, and the Sudanese armed forces backed by General Al-Bohan, they've been clashing with each other, and this has resulted in a lot of civilian casualties. The right figures are not yet known, but this again, further deteriorates the situation that we've had in Darfur for the past 2 decades. And this is not a good sign. It may further exhibit the current humanitarian crisis, that Darfurians have faced for the past 20 years. So it's not good news at all, as both sides accuse each other of committing these atrocities.
That's right. And meantime, in the capital, Khartoum, that city has seen near daily battles since April as the army and the RSF continue to vie for control. In the immediate aftermath of the fighting, we did see a flurry of diplomatic activity headed by Saudi Arabia involving the United States in the hopes of finding some sort of a solution or at least temporary ceasefires. What's the latest with that? Are those attempts at brokering a longer-term ceasefire still ongoing?
Well, we've always said that due to the numerous and different interventions, there was bound to be issues in terms of coordination. Yes, we saw a lot of intervention coming in from the US and Saudi Arabia, UAE. We've also seen regional interventions, being put in place by regional bodies. But again, it comes down to the fact that all these interventions have not been able to deal with the underlying causes. We've seen a lot of focus on trying to create humanitarian passage. This, in effect, has just given a playing field for both factions, the RSF and the Sudanese armed forces, to battle it out over power, infrastructures, critical infrastructures in Sudan. But of course, we know that both sides do not have what it takes, to defeat each other outrightly in the battlefield. So what we've always called for is, conferences and negotiations, dialogue that involves kind of finding a middle ground between which both men can agree on some kind of power sharing. And then, of course, we can move towards a democratic process. But as long as we continue to focus a lot, which is important, of course, if we focus a lot on the humanitarian aspect, it would just clear the ground for both sides to fight it out. And the smart effect is what we're experiencing in the Darfurian region as we speak.
Yes, okay, David Otto, we'll have to leave it there, but it's always good to get your analysis on this issue. Thank you.